Hey everyone, my name is Peter Hall.
My name is Joshua Hall.
We're the Media Maniacs because we're thing one and thing two. The Media Maniacs because we review anything under the sun. Anyway, we just went and saw The Rise of Skywalker. I have been watching videos about this movie for months. People have been talking about it, all these different kinds of plot leaks, how the movie's been reshot over and over and over again. Everyone was saying it was gonna suck, that it was gonna suck worse than The Last Jedi, and pretty much everybody hated The Last Jedi. But Josh and I went and saw it. We went and saw it with one of our friends, Kevin Bailey. He's visiting us from Germany. And we actually liked the movie. The movie was pretty good.
It was average, at least the story was.
Yeah, I mean, it had its fair share of cliches. There are a few dumb scenes, but the action was top notch. The cinematography, the special effects were exceptional. Anyway, basically, the movie starts off from where The Last Jedi left off.
Let's just pretend The Last Jedi didn't happen.
I don't really think that's possible. I mean, people are doing that with, like, Phantom Menace. And I don't think that's possible either.
I like Phantom Menace.
I know, but people are cutting it out of the prequel trilogy. So anyway.
Actually, the bunch of people are putting it back in. People are looking more favorably at the Phantom Menace now than they were like a decade ago because of The Last Jedi and the new trilogy.
Yeah. Anyway, the movie opens up with Kylo in like this amazing fight scene. I mean, he's surrounded by all these people. His lightsaber is blazing and whirling, and he picks somebody up with like one of his arms, and then body slams them into the ground. That was pretty cool. Anyway, Palpatine comes back. I mean, if you've seen the trailers and you heard Palpatine's iconic laugh, you knew that he would be making a reappearance. So Palpatine comes back.
He comes back as like a revenant undead zombie.
Well, he was hooked up to machines, so yeah. Anyway, he comes back. Like my brother said, he was pretty much, he looked like he was undead. I mean, like, his hands were all shriveled and you could see the bones, and
yeah, he was missing a few fingers.
His eyes were like milky white, like completely, like he looked like he was undead, and he was hooked up to like these machines. So I guess these machines are like keeping him alive. But anyway, he comes back. He uses the Force to communicate with Kylo Ren. He says, "Snoke has trained you well." And Kylo says, "I killed Snoke. I'll kill you too." And Palpatine goes, "I am Snoke. In fact, I am every voice you have ever heard inside your head." And then you like hear snippet.
Is Snoke like a clone, a Palpatine clone?
I don't know. Anyway, you hear like all these snippets of like other iconic Star Wars characters. You hear Snoke. Well, you hear Snoke. You hear Darth Vader. So Palpatine. Yeah, you hear Palpatine obviously. So then Palpatine and Kylo Ren have this dialogue exchange. Kylo is threatening to kill Palpatine, and Palpatine says, "I've been dead before." Okay, yeah. Anyway, Palpatine promises Kylo that if he does what he wants, he can rule the entire galaxy, start a new empire called the Final Order. And basically, he wants Kylo to track down Rey and kill her. Kylo has other plans. He wants to find Rey, but he doesn't want to kill her. He wants to turn her to the dark side so that he can make her his queen and rule the galaxy with her. Okay, so a bunch of people have been making fun of this movie. It's like, especially
why did Palpatine order Kylo Ren to kill Rey if he wanted to like have her take his place?
I don't know.
And a bunch of people are saying a bunch of people are saying that he wanted Rey to kill him so that his soul could take.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said that his soul was gonna inhabit her body.
Yeah. But then why tell Kylo Ren to kill her? This movie doesn't make any sense. It's all over the place.
Anyway, so a bunch of people have been like crapping on this movie, especially with like one of the trailers where like the First Order stormtroopers are flying around on jetpacks and everybody's like,
That was a cool scene.
yeah, everybody's all like, C-3PO's like, oh, they fly now! They fly now! They fly now! People have been making fun of that. But there are a few things about this movie I didn't like. I didn't like how they made Rey and Poe like an old married couple, because like
It was just annoying from like her very first scene where like she's meditating.
oh yeah.
Levitating.
Anyway, Rey is out in the out in the wilderness on, I don't even know what planet, but she's out in the wilderness somewhere meditating. She's floating in the air. She's levitating all these rocks around her. She's repeating this phrase, "Be with them, be with them, be with them. I can't find them," or something like that, right? And then like the rocks all fall down, and then she like floats gracefully back to the ground and does like a little backflip.
I remember she fell.
She didn't fall. She does a backflip and lands on her feet.
Oh.
The rocks fall. She doesn't fall. She somersaults in midair.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, Rey's like a total Mary Sue, but you know, whatever. That's to be expected.
Explained away because she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah, but they don't tell you how Palpatine had kids. I mean, people have speculated, but it's never been established in canon that Palpatine ever had kids.
Actually, in the Legends canon, it was. Remember in the Legends canon, they were trying to find Palpatine's kid who had like
Palpatine's heir.
Yeah, he had like.
But that's not canon anymore. That's
true.
Legends, which is separate from like canon. Everything in Legends is non-canon now. Everything except the movies and the cartoon series is not canon. Everything not done by Disney is not canon anymore.
So does that mean that like the Clone Wars miniseries is no longer canon?
I don't know. Let's see, where was I? Anyway, yeah, a couple of things I didn't like was, one, they made Poe and Rey like an old married couple. Rey was out in the wilderness doing this training. Leia is doing her Jedi training. After you see Rey like levitating all these rocks, she basically tells Leia she's not worthy to hold the lightsaber, but says that she will become worthy to hold it. And it's like, you just did all this incredible stuff and you don't think you're worthy to have the lightsaber. She drops a tree accidentally on BB-8, but I think he survives none the worse for wear. Poe, Chewie, Finn, a couple other characters I don't know are jet setting around the galaxy, and Han's Millennium Falcon.
Way too many characters. Like they turned Poe and Rey into an old married couple, kind of like Finn and Rey were in The Force Awakens. But then Poe runs into like an old girlfriend who's like a bounty hunter.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, Poe, Chewie, Finn, couple other characters I don't know were jet setting around the galaxy, and Han's Millennium Falcon. They were being like chased and fired upon, etc. They managed to get away, and then there's like this scene where like Poe's like, "What happened to BB-8? You dumped a tree on him? Look at him!" And Rey's like, "What happened to the Falcon? It caught on fire." Blah 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 blah. So they're arguing about like how each of them did something terrible to the other one's beloved possession / friend, and then like Rey says, "You know what you are? You're difficult," like that. It's like, sheesh. I mean, it was kind of funny, but I didn't really want to watch it. And then like
they bring back Rose for a few things. Thank God she's not a central character, because she was annoying as fuck, even though she only has like maybe 10 minutes of screen time. Like, remember that one scene where this pilot played by Greg Grunberg, who's best known for Alias and being the pilot who dies in Lost.
Greg Wetberg?
Grunberg.
Oh yeah.
He was
Bond's
best friend in the movie.
Oh yeah, there was like
Alias,
another. There was like a really stupid scene where like
he comes back. Where like Greg Grunberg, who's like a resistance pilot, comes and tells them how horribly the battle with the First Order is going, and Rose and Leia says,
"Oh, have you heard anything from Poe?" And he's like, "The Falcon hasn't responded." And Leia's like, "Do me a favor and be optimistic." And Rose is all like,
don't say that."
Yeah. So then he sarcastically says, "Everything's going fantastic."
That was stupid.
Yeah. That was stupid. Yeah, and then there's like this stupid running gag where like Poe tries to tell Rey that he's in love with her, but
Finn tries to tell Rey.
Yeah, Finn tries to tell Rey that he's in love with her, but the situation stops him from doing so, and then like Poe has to take some jabs at him, like, "What was the secret you were gonna tell Rey?" Blah 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 blah. And they have this stupid back and forth banter about it.
When they meet up with Poe's ex-girlfriend, who's a bounty hunter, and
oh yeah, she tries to kill Poe.
You were a spice runner? You were a stormtrooper? Yeah. You were a stormtrooper? You were a scavenger?
Yeah. He runs into this like old girlfriend of his who, for some reason or other,
is kind of like a female Boba Fett.
Yeah, she hates his guts for some reason. It's not really explained why. He just says that he has a troubled past on this planet called Kojima or whatever it is. She tries to kill Poe. Rey forces her to stand down. They get into this standoff where she's pointing a blaster at Rey. Rey's pointing a lightsaber at her, and then Rey says, "We seriously need your help. Will you please help us?" And then she goes, "You don't care, but I think you're pretty..." What'd she say?
"I think you're pretty amazing."
Yeah, or something like that. And Rey's like, "As a matter of fact, I do care." Yeah. And then like Poe and like, I don't even know this girl's name, but
Zari or whatever.
Zora.
Yeah, Zora.
Something like that. They have this moment and Poe's like, "Can I kiss you?" Blah blah blah. And she
once slept that Poe was a spice runner, and Finn is like, "Wait a minute, you never told us that you were a spice runner." And then Poe's like, "Wait, you were a stormtrooper? And you were a scavenger?" That scene was dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, they have this moment. She apparently defrosts some of her bitter feelings towards Poe for whatever reason. She tells him that she has these captain's credentials that will allow her to go anywhere, land on any dock, no questions asked, and she's gonna use it to escape Kojima, whatever planet she's on, and make a new life for herself. She offers Poe the chance to come along. He turns her down because he can't leave the Resistance. Blah blah blah. They have this moment. They act like they're gonna kiss, but they don't.
It'd be kind of hard to with her mask.
Well, she did almost take it off. She pulled up the visor and showed her face a little bit.
Just her eyes.
Yeah. So anyway, Kylo apparently has the ability to not only communicate with Rey through the Force, no matter where he is, but he can also she's given like this charm necklace from this alien kid at like some like Burning Man festival. That's the closest comparison I can come up with. Finn, Poe, Chewie, Rey, they go to like this Burning Man festival. Like I said, that's the closest comparison I can come up with. And Rey gets this charm necklace from like this alien kid. Kylo Ren starts communicating with her through the Force, trying to convince her to join him on the dark side. And then he steals this necklace from her and analyzes it to find out where she is. And they go to this planet where they're hiding out. And then, like, as soon as like the First Order shows up, Lando shows up and shoots one of the stormtroopers through the eye with an arrow.
Oh yeah, that was a cool scene, I guess.
Yeah, and then like they're walking through the desert and they sink through the sand
They're
and
not walking through the desert. They're being chased by those stormtroopers that fly,
oh
and their
yeah.
ship gets hit, and they crash, and the impact sends them flying, and they land on the sinkhole.
Yeah. Anyway, they fall through the ground. They're almost attacked by this giant snake-like creature,
Worm.
which for some reason or other has been wounded and like some kind of attack that we don't see. Ray uses the force to heal the worm or whatever it is, and it leaves them alone. And then they find like this Sith dagger that has the location to this the secret Sith planet called Echo or something like that, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, C3PO can read it, but he can't translate it because it's against his programming. So, so Poe says the one time we actually need you to talk, and you can't see anything. So they have to find like a black market droid smith to like steal to like get like the information out of C3PO's mainframe or database or whatever. But the process will completely wipe his memory. So when C3PO reboots after the process, like he has no idea who they are. All he remembers is that C3PO is his name and that his function is human cyborg relations. That's like his catchphrase throughout the entire series. Hello, I am C3PO,
It's
human
played up
cyborg
with
relations.
that if they do what they're planning on doing to his data banks, that he'll die.
Yeah, they play it up like that, and R2D2 for the most part of the movie is nowhere to be seen. Like the only scene that he shows up in is this part where Leia just all of a sudden dies. Josh says
He
that
shows up at the beginning too when they put data into him like they did in A New Hope, but then he's not seen again.
Right. Josh says that Leia kills herself. He says that he saw her like stab herself with a knife. I don't remember seeing that. I just remember seeing her lay down on a bed and then just like basically deflate and die. And it's like, what
She
the fuck
deflated
happened?
and died after Kylo Ren deflates and dies.
No, she dies before Kylo
She dies before Kylo Ren dies, but her body doesn't disappear until after he dies.
Right.
When he transfers his life to Rey. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Anyway, she died when Kylo and Rey got into that duel, and Rey stabbed Kylo with his own lightsaber, and then while he's dying, she uses the Force to heal him, right?
Yeah, Rey uses the Force to heal him. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the part where it's revealed that General Huxley is the spy.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't care if like he pretends that he's gonna kill them. He's like, I wanna kill them myself.
Oh yeah, the First
but then
Order
he shoots the three stormtroopers.
The First Order captures Chewie. We don't even see them capture him. Like we don't even see what it led up to Chewie's capture. We see like after he gets captured.
And they make us think that Rey inadvertently causes the ship that Chewie's on to explode because she unexpectedly unleashes Force lightning without intending to, but then like it's later revealed that Chewbacca survived because he was on a different transport. But everyone thinks that Chewie is dead and Rey blames herself, so that was kind of pointless.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, like they get Rey, Finn, Poe, they all storm like the ship or the base or whatever that Chewie's being held at.
They get captured.
They kill a bunch of stormtroopers. There's this funny scene where like Rey uses the Force to convince a couple of stormtroopers to help her. That scene was pretty funny. And then they get captured, and then General Huxley is about to have them executed, but then he goes, "Wait, I'd like to do it myself."
At first, I thought that Rey was the one who killed the stormtroopers because she didn't get captured. General Huxley takes the gun from one of the First Order stormtroopers and says, "I like to kill these criminals myself," and then like you hear them like get executed. I think that it was Rey who did it, but then it turns out that it's General Huxley, and he says, "I'm the spy," and everyone is like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
And
So then,
he
like,
says,
he helps
I don't
him
really
get away.
care if you guys win or lose.
Yeah,
I
he
just
helps
want
him
to
get away.
humiliate Kylo Ren.
He helps him get away, and then like Finn says, "Why are you helping us?" And Huxley says, "I don't care if you win. I just want Kylo to lose." So then he tells Finn to shoot him in the arm.
Finn shoots him in the leg.
So that, like, to make it look like he actually got shot during a firefight with them, because if he doesn't get injured, it would be too obvious that he helped them. But Finn shoots him in the leg instead. And so there's this funny scene where, like, he informs, like,
General Pryde.
yeah, the other
who kind of looks like a younger version of Palpatine.
I thought he kind of looked like Grand Moff Tarkin, actually.
No, he kind of looks like Palpatine when Palpatine was Chancellor.
Anyway, there's this other character named General Pryde who, like, takes a stormtrooper's gun and shoots General Huxley after General Huxley tells everybody that he was captured and forced to help the Finn, Chewie, Poe, etc. escape. And then he says, "Inform Kylo Ren that we found the spy." That part was pretty funny.
Inform the Supreme Leader we found our spy.
Yeah. And then, like, somehow Palpatine not only is alive, but he has, like, a super fleet of, like, Star Destroyers with, that are capable of destroying planets on their own. Each Star Destroyer in Palpatine's fleet has its own planet-killing weapon. And they're all based on this, secret planet in the Outer Rim that he's located on. Anyway, he's been orchestrating everything behind the scenes for, like, ever since, like, his initial defeat in, like, Return of the Jedi. Somehow he's been orchestrating the rise of the First Order. They don't really explain it. All they tell us is that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter.
Which explains her Mary Sue abilities, I guess.
Like, either her father is Palpatine's son or her mother is Palpatine's daughter. And he kills her parents, but they had left her on Jakku to hide her from Palpatine. So he's been spending all this time looking for her because he wants to infuse his spirit in her body and reign as the Empress of the galaxy. So, yeah. Like, when Kylo meets Palpatine, it, like, the books about these movies established that Palpatine and even Darth Vader were in secret communication with Snoke through the Force, and that Palpatine sensed a great disturbance in the Force, and that was what caused him to, like, go into the uncharted regions because he wanted to find the person that was causing this disturbance. But in this movie, he tells Kylo Ren that he was behind Snoke and that he even was Snoke. And you see, like, a couple of these containers that contain Snoke clones, and one of them looks like it has his Snoke's head on, like, a spider droid body or something.
Which seems to me that Snoke might have been a clone of Palpatine.
But he didn't look anything like Palpatine.
He was deformed.
Yeah. He didn't sound like Palpatine either. So, anyway, the end of the movie basically plays out just like Return to the Jedi. Palpatine wants Rey to kill him. He even says that he wants her to kill him so that his spirit can fuse with her body, and she'll reign the galaxy as the Empress, etc. He even has, like, this ritual where, like, she strikes him down with her lightsaber, and she acts like she's gonna do it, but then she doesn't, and then, like, Kylo shows up and he gets into a fight with, like, Palpatine's cult members, and then Palpatine says that both of them are gonna die, so he uses the Force to, like, bring them in close, and then he, like, drains the life force from their bodies, and, like, while he had previously been depicted as like being pretty much undead. Like we said before, like his hands were all shriveled up. You could see the bones in his fingers and stuff, and like his eyes were milky white. He takes the life force from their bodies, and then he rejuvenates and becomes like he was in like Return of the Jedi. Um, so he uses the force to push Kylo off like a cliff.
Brings down the entire Resistance fleet with like a force storm lightning.
Yeah, that part was cool.
And then Rey kills him.
Yeah, he tries to zap Rey with force lightning. Rey deflects it
with two lightsabers,
and the lightning goes back and totally incinerates Palpatine.
That's his second death.
Yeah, and then at the end of the movie, you see like Ewoks briefly on Endor.
There's a totally pointless lesbian scene.
Oh yeah, during the celebration. The
That's
Resistance
dragged
celebration,
and dragged,
like there's like a scene where like two female pilots kiss, and then at the end of the movie, Rey goes to like Luke's old hut on Tatooine, and puts like the lightsabers in the sand.
Apparently, she buries Luke and Anakin Skywalker's lightsabers.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Well, Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber became Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
She buries it in the sand for some reason.
Yeah, and then like this old lady shows up and says, "What are you doing here? Nobody's been here for years. Who are you?" Rey says, "I'm Rey." The lady says, "Rey who?" Rey looks and sees like Luke and Leia as Force ghosts in the distance and says, "Skywalker, Rey Skywalker." So like the title of the movie doesn't even make sense until the end. And then, like, they totally just throw that out to go, ah, hit you with the feels, I guess. Yeah, parts of the movie, like, they drop all this exposition on you, but they don't explain, like, certain things very well, or at all.
The movie is very average, yet it exceeded my expectations because it wasn't as bad as The Last Jedi. In fact, it was a whole lot better than The Last Jedi. But overall, it's like a pale imitation of the entire new trilogy is like a pale remake of the old trilogy.
Well, I guess artistically speaking, that you could say that it's just like history repeating itself. I guess that's what they're trying to make. That's the statement they're trying to make with that. History repeating itself. History like doing like everything going full circle. Because like the prequel trilogy is all about how Palpatine came to power, how he became emperor. The original trilogy is about how the rebellion defeated the Empire, and then like
it was also about Vader's redemption.
Yeah. How Anakin Skywalker became Vader in the prequel trilogy, and then how Vader redeemed himself. But like yeah, the third trilogy I guess is about everything coming full circle and history repeating itself. I guess that's what they're trying to make that's the statement they're trying to make. Anyway, I recommend that you see this movie if you haven't already. It wasn't as bad as everybody said it was going to be.
It wasn't that great now that I think about it. I mean, I did like it mostly because of Ian McDiarmid returning as Palpatine, but overall now that I think about it, I kind of agree with like I Hate Everything's assessment of the film. He hated it. I'm not gonna go that far and say I hate The Rise of Skywalker, but it's very average. The story is very average, bordering on mediocre, and yet it exceeded my expectations because it wasn't chock full of woke SJW politics for the sake of gaining brownie points for the SJW cause the way The Last Jedi was. Yeah, aside from the lesbian kiss.
Yeah, Rian Johnson did say there was going to be LGBT community inclusion in the movie, and at the end of the movie you see like these female pilots kiss. So that was their inclusion. anything else you want to say?
That they edited that scene out in the Chinese market, which has totally pissed off the LGBT community. You know, I'm tired of including the LGBT community in everything.
Yeah, so I guess that's all there is to say about the Rise of Skywalker. Um, I think it should have been called The Return of Emperor Palpatine, although that would have been too obvious, I suppose, because really, it's about Palpatine coming back from the dead. Um, I guess that's it. Hope you guys like our video. See you guys later.